Hello everybody and welcome to MikeyTaylorGaming, where today we're going to be taking a look into the world of Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link glitches for the NES. Now this game is home to so many different types of glitches. We've got graphical, memory glitches, simple glitches, difficult glitches, precise glitches. They're all fit into this 11 minutes and there are some really cool ones, so you better check them out. I hope you all enjoy and let's get on with it, guys. This first glitch can be done at any time during the game, and it's absolutely awesome. But it's not so simple, since you'd have to modify your NES controller to be able to hold left and right at the same time. Or just use an emulator. That's probably the easiest way for you guys to try this one out. Since you're never really supposed to hold left and right at the same time, the programmers of Zelda 2 never expected you to do it. So the game gets pretty confused when you do, glitching Link backwards and forwards rapidly with no real control over him. When you let go of the D-pad, sometimes Link will shoot either left or right at high speed. It's difficult to get Link to fire in the direction that you want him to, but it is possible, just probably not with human reflexes. If Link moves fast enough, then it's possible to get random things to happen, like teleporting around the screen, or even getting Zelda to disappear completely. Zelda? Do we still have to finish the game, or are we done here? I'm gonna finish the game just in case. Because of how difficult it is to control Link when using this glitch, it's usually only ever seen in tool-assisted speedruns, and using it correctly can allow the game to be beaten in just over 5 minutes when used with the healer glitch, which I'll be showing off a little later in the episode. That's right, another Zelda game that can be beaten in a ridiculous time because of glitches. How many is that now? 22 or something? I think? Maybe? Okay, I don't know, but it's a lot. In the second installment of Zelda for the NES came the introduction of spells. There were 8 spells introduced into this game, with one having a pretty interesting glitch linked to it. Get it? Linked. Zelda. I said linked and it's in Zelda game. Yeah. That is not funny. So next up today we're going to take a look at a glitch found using the fairy spell. A spell which turns Link into a fairy until he enters the next screen of a cave or palace, and using it in the right place will cause the game to do some pretty unexpected things. This glitch can be done in tons of places, but I'll be showing you how to do it in Palace 3 where it's super easy to do. Make your way through the palace until you've reached the area where blocks are falling from the ceiling, then just wait for a couple of them to fall to the ground. Once enough have fallen, you'll have to use them to get Link to the very top of the screen so that he's in front of the heads-up display. Now that you're up here, all you need to do is switch to the fairy spell, jump and quickly use it whilst off screen. Instead of turning into a fairy, a warping animation will play and you'll be placed on top of the entrance to the palace. There's really not that much to do up here, in honesty. The elevator is in an unreachable place, so you can't use it, and that's probably about the most interesting thing. You can use the spell again up here, taking you back to the playable area, but this time the camera will be glitched out. You can easily fix that though by going back to the overworld, so there aren't any long-term effects to this glitch, which really isn't any fun. But if fun's what you're looking for, then I can show you that too. The fairy warp glitch doesn't only work in palaces, you know. It can get much better than that. If you make your way to the mountain town of Darunia, then you can use it for a much more interesting warp. Trust me. First equip the jump spell and you should be able to jump on the top of this house right here. Then you can jump onto the houses next to it, getting closer and closer to the top of the screen. Once you're on top of the tallest house, do exactly what you did in the palace. Equip the fairy spell, jump off the top of the screen and then use it. The warping animation will play again, but this time you're taken to a whole new town. One that can't be found anywhere in the game. Glitch Town. This place might seem like a normal town at first, but if you take a look around then you might notice some odd things. Like the sign at the entrance of Glitch Town isn't finished, or at least it doesn't seem to be. I'm sure that the end of this sentence would give us some pretty helpful information. Tell us what the East of Naboru has sign. I demand you. Or maybe this guy. Hello, normal guy. I will save how... Whoa, he turned into a bat. Why did you ask me to save Hyrule and then turn into something that's going to kill me? You're sending me mixed signals here, dude, and that is not cool. Maybe you want to try entering the door on the very left house of Glitch Town, which just takes you to the entrance of Glitch Town. Over and over and over again. What? Okay, that's everything to see here. I hope Link brought his raft from the first game, because trying to escape from Glitch Town to the right leaves him stranded in the middle of the ocean. The only escape for him now is if you reset the game. There's actually another glitch that can help you get to Glitch Town too, but this one can be done much sooner in the game just by talking to one of the healer girls in any of the towns. How can something so simple turn into something so wrong? If you talk to one of the healer girls as she walks onto a specific pixel, then she'll start walking towards the door of the house like normal. But if you talk to her again just one frame before she enters the house, then she'll turn around and enter into the wall instead of the door. Now if you enter through the door where you'd normally be healed, then you'll end up in Glitch Town again. I haven't got a clue why this one happens, but it's a pretty cool way to get into Glitch Town. This time in Glitch Town, try going into the first house a couple more times until the screen stops scrolling to the left when you walk. Now if you leave Glitch Town, you'll be taken into the graveyard in a completely different part of Hyrule to where we started. From now on, the game will just be completely screwed up in any side-scrolling sections you come across, so good luck with trying to navigate anywhere now. This happens because walking through the doorway in Glitch Town is writing data into different parts of the game's memory. It gets really confused and forgets how the side-scrolling areas work, which allows you to have a lot of fun torturing yourself. Some places you walk into will just drop you down into a hole straight away, and if that happens, then it's game over. Sorry guys! One of the deadliest glitches in Zelda 2, that's for sure. After those pretty cool glitches, I gotta throw in a completely pointless one that can hardly be classed as a glitch, right? If you leave one of the elevators in a palace slightly above the ground, then you can run towards it and press down to slide underneath. Then, if you let go of down, Link will pop right back into the elevator again. Totally pointless. Let's do something interesting again, shall we? A super helpful glitch can be found on your way to the mountain town of Darunia. As you pass through this valley leading to the town, you'll find that there are 3 forced fights that are triggered when you stand on certain tiles. That means that they can't be skipped. Or does it? Of course they can, that's why I'm talking about them like this. You guys knew that. All you have to do is stand 1 tile away from any of the trigger tiles, and then when an enemy is about to touch you, move onto the trigger tile. Instead of loading up the more difficult area with the bubbles and Octoroks in it, you'll enter into an action segment with enemies the same strength as the ones that touched you in the overworld. This can be really helpful if you struggle with the bubbles and Octoroks like I do. They always get me at that very last jump and knock me into the water. Glitch method for me. That way there's no unnecessary stress. This game gives me enough of that already. I'm sorry about this guys, but we're already on to the final glitch of today's episode, but at least there were some cool ones. Normally, before entering any caves in this game, you'd have to obtain the candle to see what's going on inside. If you decide to explore the caves without collecting the candle first, then you're gonna have a bad time. Without the candle to light the caves up, all of the enemies appear to be invisible, but they can still be hit if you've played the game enough to learn where they're hiding. There is a glitch though where certain enemies can be seen even without obtaining the candle. Any enemies that are the colour orange will still be visible for some reason. People speculate that this is because the orange colour shares the same palette colours with the items, which are always visible in caves. Kinda strange, huh? It's a pretty pointless glitch, because you'll probably always have the candle by the time you get to here, but it's still interesting to see. I think you'll all agree. Hey everybody, and thanks very much for watching until the end if you're still here. Now, I have to apologise that I haven't released any videos recently, very frequently I should say, because I've been in the middle of something very personal at the moment, so if you are still here, then thank you very much for supporting me through all of that. I haven't had much time to do videos and editing and recording, so it's been a hard couple of months, and hopefully we'll be back on track soon, so don't go anywhere. The channel is still alive, and I'll be happy to upload again very soon, hopefully, so yes. And if there are any other glitch picnics that you'd want to check out, then Zelda 1 was the last one that I'd covered, and that can be found by clicking in the left-hand box here. If you want to check out Mario Kart Wii and you have a little bit of extra time, it's about 30 minutes long, then check out the right-hand box. And as always, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I love you all. Mwah!